A key player to keep an eye on is goalie Dawson Walls, a senior presence on the roster. He has done a fantastic job of making sure that this team can stay in games late on throughout the matchups this year.
With 37 saves with a 60% save rate, he's going to be key in defending this high-flying Washington offense.
Another guy you want to keep out for is Bodie Callison, a sophomore on the roster, but already making his presence very well known early on so far this season. He has done an awesome job making sure that everybody knows who he is at all times on the roster.
He leads the team in goals, ground balls, and forced turnovers. He has 6 goals on only 12 shots. He's going to be key today for this Oregon State offense.
Well, welcome to Student Legacy Park. I'm Nik Munoz, joined here by Brady, Elliott. It's a good matchup today, a former Pac-12 rivalry between the Oregon State Beavers and the Washington Huskies. Brady, this, even though it no longer counts as a Pac-12 matchup, there's still bad blood in the water, I feel like, between these two teams. So how are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I'm excited for this matchup today. Both teams coming in at 0-4 on the season, looking for a win. But I expect aggressiveness, physicality on both sides of the field, and I'm ready for some goals.
This is going to be a fun one. Over the last 5 games, OSU currently is on a 4-game losing streak in their actual, on-season matchups, but they are coming off of an asterisk win, a 19-2 beatdown against Idaho. Although it is a scrimmage and doesn't technically count for rankings and playoff seeding, you got to imagine it's a confidence booster being able to just absolutely sweep the legs of that Idaho team.
Scoring 19 goals is really big for your confidence, especially even though it's a scrimmage. That means other players got involved. Other players that aren't used to scoring goals scored goals, and that's really going to boost their confidence coming into this game today.
Absolutely. That is a huge confidence booster, I feel like, even if it doesn't count. The fact that you came out and you performed that well, that has to just carry over into your next matchup undeniably. Well, moving over to the starting lineup, we already previously mentioned goalie Dawson Walls. On the defensive side, you have Colby Noah, Seth Looney, Jones Colby, and Aiden Pedro. At midfield, you have Hank Vanderbrake, Bodie Callison, the previously mentioned sophomore breakout star, and Gage Miller. Along with on the attack side, you have Alex Kamalion, Leo Mendelson, and Dallas Shaban. This is a very young team. Walls is one of the few seniors on the roster. This group of guys is going to have to come out and really make their presence known against a Washington team who has a lot more senior players on their roster and who has been performing at a higher level so far this season.
For the Washington lineup, we have not been able to confirm their starting lineup, but I assume they will be playing with their normal starting 11 today.
Absolutely. When you score 40 goals, there's really nothing you can really change up on that. So I'm assuming the same guys will be out here as usual. Well, this is going to be a fun one no matter if it doesn't count as a Pac-12 matchup anymore. There is still a ton of velocity between these two teams that they want to come out and make their presence known early. We're going to come back from a quick break after this, but before that, I have to say this is going to be a really awesome matchup. I'm really excited to be able to get lacrosse back here in Corvallis, so this is going to be really cool to see. Currently, the Oregon State Beavers are warming up alongside the Washington Huskies, so we have an epic matchup today. Don't go anywhere here on KBVR TV. Welcome back to KBVR TV. We got a good matchup today with the Huskies and the Beavers, who are lining up to begin their face-off and get this matchup underway. Both teams are 0-4 on the season, looking to get their first official wins on the year, along with their first in-conference win as well.
I'd like to see a high-flying, aggressive gameplay today. I'm interested to see how this Oregon State Beavers can get some goals in the back of the net, try to get past that goalie and Ethan Martin for UW, and let's see how these teams play today.
Washington does have a very good back half. I know their goalie is very effective when it comes to stopping passes, 53.2 save rate. That's pretty dang good. This is a very effective team when it comes to being able to pull that off. So I feel like if this Beavers team is going to want to have a strong start, they're going to have to play more aggressive in the back half.
Definitely, Nick. Definitely, Nick. I think we're going to see from the Beavers a creative offense. We're going to see them making some plays, trying to make some space, and we'll see if they can get those balls in the back of the net.
It will have to come down to that. Whether or not both of these two teams can be able to open up their scoring offenses will have to come down to their front half, their midfield players, and their attackers being able to create, like you said, that was a pretty good way to word it, just create separation, being able to get away from these Washington defenders. This Husky team is a very impressive defensive team. I really think that if they can push come to shove here, get their first in regular play win on the season, and I think that they can do it by playing just good defense. This is a well-rounded defensive unit, and depending on how this start between this face-off will go, if they can get the ball in their hands first, this is 100% already in favor of the Huskies. It's because these two teams, very scrappy units, so who can ever get the ball first to start.
Definitely.
I know it's always like the generic way to say, oh, who gets the ball first always has an advantage, but in a matchup like this, when both of these two teams are so hungry for that first win, having that start with the ball in your possession is a instant just boost and leg up over your opponent.
Couldn't agree with you more, Nick. I think we got some Oregon State Beavers players that are looking to start off strong, start off early, and I'm looking to see Bodie Callison, as we mentioned in the pregame, with 6 goals on 12 shots on the year. That's a pretty good percentage.
That is a very good percentage.
I'm also looking for Hank Vandenbrake. He has 11 assists. He leads the team in assists, with the next player only having 3. So he's really kind of the point of the offense. He's really trying to dish the ball off to open players, and we'll see if we see that early.
And as we await the opening face-off between these two teams, it was a very energetic start when we saw warm-ups coming off, getting off the big away buses. I hammered it home in the opening. This game doesn't count for Pac-12 reasons anymore, but these two teams have had a historic rivalry in every facet of these two programs at every level, football, baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. When you play the Huskies and you're a Beaver, or you're vice versa, there's a lot of energy going into it. There's a lot of aggression going into it, just because the fact is that, yeah, you no longer aren't technically rivals, but that history never leaves.
Oh, definitely.
That history never leaves.
Definitely. I think, both these teams want to start off early, start off strong, kind of maybe send a message to the other team. And
oh, yeah.
Since both these teams are 0-4, I think they really have nothing to lose. I think they got to, start early and start strong.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. They do not have nothing to lose here. They're already at a not unforgivable hole, but being 0-4 to start the year is one that very much is going to have to be one they need to climb out of here. As we break away, sending both our goalies out, as we are about to have this matchup set underway and begin this matchup.
Very excited. It's a nice day at Student Legacy Park. Hearing some screaming from both benches. Seems like we're going to get some lacrosse. Let's get it going.
This is a very good day for lacrosse to be played today, as both two teams face-off men head to the middle of the field as we await the opening face-off.
Caden Allen, number 30 for the Beavers, facing off. Seems like he won it.
And scooped away right off the bat by the Huskies. Moving out to the audience sideline. Quick pass back over. Ball remains in Husky possession. And this offensive attack is starting off quick for the Huskies, already well into Beaver territory.
I'm interested to see how the Huskies want to control possession here, see if they, early on, if they want to keep the ball in their nets, and see if they can get some quality shots early on.
Behind the X, still possession in favor of the Huskies. This is Dane Foreigner with possession, will fire and will be out of bounds. Attempted to hit the corner shot over Wall's right shoulder, but it will fly out of bounds and be picked up back by the Huskies. Shooting over the net, misses his initial man. Back to the Huskies, this is By. Throws back out behind the X. Still possession for Washington. Checks his shaft, loses the ball. Recovered by Oregon State, trying to switch the field here. Tosses back out, remains in possession of the Beavers. Deflects off of a Husky stick and goes back into his own, loses the ball.
Little chaotic here, Nick, early on. But
early start.
Beavers get possession.
Sending the ball back out into the field of play. Switching fields now onto the Husky side. Possession now with the Beavers in the X. Trying to get something going here. Good defense by Huskies early on. Out to Bo Callison.
Now we're seeing Oregon State kind of control that possession now that they got the ball. See if they can get a quality couple shots here and see if they can get one in the back of the net.
Vanderbreak. Back out to Callison. Holds onto the ball. Moves past the crease, throws back into the X. Gets it back to himself. Trying to find something here. Great coverage by the Huskies, one-on-one. Checking him, loses the ball. Recovered by the Huskies. Great check there by one of the senior Husky players.
Tough break there for Callison, but I like the aggressiveness there.
Absolutely.
Unfortunate turnover.
Back well into Beaver territory, takes the shot and gets it. Striking home, and the Huskies draw first blood.
Great little transition offense there. Richie Madoni with the goal. Great offense, great pass up into the front of the crease, and just easy goal with nobody in front of him.
And Washington gets points on the board first today. Nadoni with the nice shot, pass over from his senior teammate, and is able to get it by Walls. Now, Dawson Walls, he has been amazing this season. He's been very productive for the Beavers, 52 saves, but he's also given away over 50 as well. So we're going to have to see a lot more of consistency there on Walls' part as the faceoff will break and possession loose. Ball on the ground still, hasn't been picked up yet. Under feet, being scooped up by the Beavers, loses possession again, but will remain in OSU's hands. Being checked a few times, trying to hold on to possession, gets it out. They're still in their territory now. They got to flip the field, and they do.
Nice little fight there for the midfielders for Oregon State, being able to battle and get that ball, and now they're in their own offensive territory. Let's see if they can get a good shot here.
In the X, back out to the team. OSU remains in control. This is Shaban. Back out to OSU, trying to find something here. Vanderbreak, one-on-one with the Huskies. Showing early they're putting guys on islands here. Vanderbreak still trying to find something. Nice spin move. Throws back over to the X and will roll out of bounds.
Like that aggressive play there from Vandenberg. Maybe trying to find somebody open, but in the end, just staying aggressive, shooting there, and Beavers retain possession. Let's see if they can get another shot here.
Back out to Vanderberg. Trying to just falls down, trying to get something going, but loses the ball and is scooped up by the Huskies. Trying to flip the field here. Lob pass, too high for his man. Ball in play here, and it'll make it in. The Huskies, loose ball, could not get a handle on it at first, but they're able to scoop it up in the end and fire home.
That's a tough sequence for the Beavers. Unfortunate there that that ball kept rolling and ended up in a Huskies stick, and two guys there with only one defender. That's going to end up in the back of the net.
Blake Hardison, nice shot with the overhand putter as the Oregon State Beavers now trail 0-2 early on here in this matchup.
Blake Hardison is the leading scorer for UW, and we could see that there on that great little transition offense, defense to offense, and ended up back in the back of the net.
That was a really good play of events there for Washington. We saw that the ball was loose on the ground for a while. They just simply no one could get toward it, a sea of black and purple, and eventually Hardison was able to come up with it and was able to finish off his possession strong. And now the Beavers are already in an early hole. And one of the big things that we need to keep an eye on here is just losing the ball. They've just been not being able to keep a handle on it. Whenever the ball gets knocked out, they get checked a lot in the shaft of their stick and lose control. And we've seen now several loose balls that have been picked up by the Huskies in Beaver territory. So possession is definitely going to have to improve for OSU.
Yeah, I think we're seeing maybe a little jitters early on. I think we're seeing a little looseness, a little chaoticness. But and as we've seen a couple players fall on the turf. So hopefully people can get their feet under them. And yeah, I mean, not a great start for the Beavers. Exactly what the Huskies want, but a lot of ball game left, and we're going to get ready for a face-off right here.
10:55 left in this first quarter. 2-0 game. Washington leading the Oregon State Beavers, as they will head over to the face-off. Caden Allen up against the Huskies with Will Peter look and setting to receive.
I'm hearing Coach John Boyer telling his team, this Oregon State team, to get loud on that bench and not be afraid to, yell and scream and get some energy into this team that's struggled a little bit early.
Get checked and loses this ball, drops the stick back into Husky possession. What a nice check by the Huskies, dropping the stick and being able to get a hold of the ball back in possession. We'll see sub-ins here.
Perfect defensive play there. Perfectly hit that stick, losing the ball, and now we can see the Huskies holding possession right here.
That was a great check by the Huskies, losing control of the ball and now back in possession. This is Nik Munoz tossing it over into the X. They're behind the crease now, trying to get back into the goal here. Take this early 3-0 lead. Back out to Glannon. Trying to get something going here. Huskies maintain possession. Back out to Glannon again. One-on-one. Looks to shoot, won't. Nice check by the Beavers. Strong check by OSU's defense. That was Brock Piepinger, one of the team's captains. Oregon State trying to flip possession here, and we'll hear whistles.
Great defensive play there for Brock Piepinger. Exactly what Oregon State needed here, keeping this offense. Believe there's going to be a penalty on the Beavers.
There is a penalty. It'll be for slashing. We'll see on the replay suit who it was, but one of the Beavers got a little too handsy. As we will see OSU lose one of their starters to head over to the penalty box. This is Colby Noah, as he will be sat out for a moment. Being subbed in now. Possession goes to the Huskies. This is Dane Foreigner with possession. Back out to himself. Huskies still retain. Trying to get something going here. Loose coverage by the Beavers. They're letting the Huskies have some room to work. He'll take a shot and he'll miss. Great deflection by Walls. Saves it. What could have been a disastrous play.
Great defense there from Walls. Able to block that shot being a man down, and now we got the Beavers retaining possession.
OSU still holding on. Long pass out over. Taken away by the Huskies. Nice catch there by Foreigner. Sends over and scores. What a takeaway by Foreigner. Dane Foreigner, nice turnover. Steals it right from under the Beavers' noses and is able to find his man to connect for the score.
We're seeing a lot of early turnovers from the Beavers. A little sloppy play here, and those turnovers are turning into points. And so, the Washington Huskies are taking advantage of that and doing well here early on, exactly how they wanted to start.
Blake Hardison gets his second point of the game scored off his second goal. As the face-off is set to break here. Fighting for the ball into Washington territory, not retaining as we hear whistles. And ball will go in favor of the Huskies.
Not the start that the Beavers would like to see. Tough start for these attackers on the Beavers. Not a lot of activity on that end. So let's see if this defensive side can really clamp down, get a few stops, see if Wells can get a few blocks. And it was a nice little poke turnover there for the Beavers. See what they can do here.
Being able to catch their breath for a sec. Slips and is able to get it away, but too high. Misses his man and goes right into the cup of a Washington State Husky. Back out to the corner. Right on the tip of the X. Back to possession around midfield, back into the X. Huskies will retain possession here. Behind the crease, slips, getting tripped up. Good defense there by OSU. It's Seth Looney in coverage. One-on-one, trying to find a man. He'll shoot and it's deflected by Walls. He'll shoot again and goes outside. Back-to-back good defensive plays by Dawson Walls in the goal.
This is a tough sequence for the Beavers. Trying to get a stop here and retain that possession and not having another turnover. They forced a turnover here. Nice play.
Good turn of events now for OSU, just attempting to flip the field, getting open to a wide open Oregon State Beaver. Shoots and it'll lose it as we hear whistles and the Washington sideline erupts. They did not like that series of events as they'll flip back over to possession, trying to get something here. He'll fire. Great block by Walls. Another great defensive stop by Walls. Wide open run for the Huskies as Foreigner tries to attempt to get his second shot of the day, but Walls says that's not going to happen.
Quick transition there for the Huskies, going from defense to offense super quickly and almost put that in the back of the net, but Wells stepped up and got that stop. Beavers retain possession now.
Oregon State now in Husky territory, attempting to get something going here. See what they can get on this series of events. Stillmark, one of their captains, in possession, trying to find something here. Throws it out to his man in the crease, in the X. One-on-one, nice spin move again. Will fire and will roll out of bounds.
Great pass there, finding the open man right in front of the crease. Just not able to convert on that goal, but great pass. And I like seeing this a lot more possession from the Beavers here. Maybe kind of controlling those passes, being a little less sloppy, and let's see if they can get multiple shots on a possession and not just one and then move off to play defense. So
good attempt by Colby Noah there on the shot. I like the aggressiveness there. Pass back out to Noah, trying to get something here. Triple team and loses it. Retained by the Huskies. A little under 5.5 to go as they will flip the field, find an open man around the crease and hits home. 4-0 Washington. OSU is falling behind here a little too early for their liking, as this is now getting a little out of control. Will Russell finds his first goal of this afternoon.
Tough transition defense there. Just too many men wide open in front of the crease, and you're going to find somebody open there if, nobody's there. So great play for UW. This is exactly the start they wanted after being 0-4 and couldn't ask for anything better.
Great job of spreading the offense out for Washington. They've done a great job of getting the ball out to other people's hands as whistles will fly here for movement. OSU will retain possession. One-on-one in coverage, gets checked a few times, moves into the X. Great coverage here by Peter. Back out to OSU, still with possession, trying to get at the corner of the crease. Will go overhand pass back to his own man, out to Callison. See if they can find something here. Callison throws back out to Vanderbrick. Brook trying to get something. One-on-one. Nice move. Nice spin move again. Great movement here early on, as Washington is able to play some good defense here around their crease, not giving anything up. Attempts to shoot overhand. Getting checked really well. Will fire out and does not retain possession. And it'll roll out of bounds. I like the attempt by Vanderbroek to get it to his man, but just tips off of the top of the stick, just outside of the cup, and will roll out of bounds. Recovered by OSU. Callison will fire and will be deflected.
Nice aggressive play there from Callison, not able to go back in the net, but we need to see some shots from the Beavers.
We definitely need to see more attempts made. They have not been doing as well as you would expect. A little timid on their offensive tack, trying to get it into the goal. Back of the X now.
Beavers trying to set up on their defense, need to make sure they're communicating well and not fumbling on these open mans.
Already have 2 turnovers in their own territory, trying to avoid any more of that the rest of the game. And it'll find its way home. Another great offensive drive for the Washington Huskies. That was a strong play there by their offensive attack. And unfortunately, Dawson Walls is off to a rough start in this 0-5 hole that OSU has now found themselves in.
His defensive players aren't really helping him out there, leaving a lot of men open, but that one there, pretty savable. Unfortunate that it went in the back of the net, but let's see if we need the Beavers to kind of settle down and see if they can retain this possession and hold for a quality shot, not just a forced shot.
There's Julian Gardner on the goal attempt. A little under 3.5 to go here in the first quarter. OSU trailing by 5. Have to get something going here in order to make this game a little more salvageable down the stretch. Beavs with possession. Trying to find someone here. Looney.
Not seeing much movement from the Beefers on the offensive side. I'm hearing Coach yell out to them, move, 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 but seems a lot like running around, and then another forced turnover there by UW.
Loose ball and recovered. Great stop there by the Huskies. It was Nick Glannon knocking it out. Connor Bye with possession now. Throwing it back out. Still possession for Washington. Corner of the crease. Dawson Walls is on edge here. I'd imagine some early game jitters really getting to him. Trying to find something going on the outside. Back out to Bye. Looking for a man, throws out into the X. One-on-one. Good defense here by Looney, keeping him boxed out in the X. Will throw back over to his man. This is Connor Bye again. Bye looking to attempt a shot, getting checked. This is a long offensive drive here for getting checked again and loses the ball, but Bye will recover for the Huskies. Huskies retaining possession, trying to shake his defender. OSU playing tight coverage around the goal. Checking it back out. Attempting to shoot it, and it'll bounce outside of the crease. Recovered by OSU, and we hear whistles fly.
Great defensive possession there for the Beavers. A lot of gang tackling in a sense. Getting on their man that has the ball, and nice defensive play there, but it's still going to stick with the Huskies. But like that activity on the defensive end, maybe we can see that transfer over to the offensive end.
Strong defense by OSU here early, and nice tip by Walls. That could have been awful. Picking off the ball and proceeding to fire it with all his might, but recovered immediately back to Washington. OSU was able to get possession for a second, but loses by. Back out to Hardinson, who already has 2 on the day. Possession will now switch to OSU. Make sub-ins on the sideline now. Starting to see players come in and out. This is Hoops coming in off the bench. Back of the X now for Washington. Trying to find something. Finds a man. With under a minute to tick now. Getting checked on the corner. OSU has to find something here if they want to at least put this quarter away and make it somewhat productive. Vanderbrook. Back over to Stillmark.
Let's see if the Beavers can kind of get a set play here, make some quality passes through the crease as we see
a loose ball turnover. And recovered by Washington. My goodness. 5 turnovers on the day for OSU, recovered by Washington, making a deep drive into OSU territory. Back in possession of the Beavers. Wide open man, attempts the shot, and gets it. And OSU can release a sigh of relief. Nice shot there for Oregon State as they find their first points of the day.
Perfect shot there, exactly how you want to end the quarter with only 3 seconds left. Great, great shot, great open pass, and made the shot.
Cam Lee gives this team a break as we can now head back to the face-off.
Hearing some energy from the Beaver bench now that they got that point on the board. Let's see if they can really take advantage of that, try to switch the momentum here.
There's a few seconds left in this quarter that we'll let play out. Live ball in the air, and that'll mark it. Nice attempt by OSU to make something happen there, but it's not giving. Oregon State in an early hole here, 1-5 to the Washington Huskies. This is a nasty hole. They have to find a way to climb out of this one in these upcoming quarters if they have any chance of winning this one, as Washington takes an early lead here as the Washington Huskies lead the Oregon State Beavers 5-1. Thank you for tuning in to KBVR TV. We will be right back. Quarter number 2 of action here underway. Oregon State trailing 1-5 against the Washington Huskies. This is not exactly the way you want to start this matchup for OSU if you're the Beavers.
Definitely not. I think that was a great way to end that quarter, but throughout that whole quarter, we saw a lot of turnovers, a little sloppy passes in transition that just weren't to the right man, and we saw UW take advantage of that early and take advantage of that with 5 goals in that first quarter. So let's see if the Beavers can switch that up in this quarter and take advantage of that strong ending of the first quarter.
Face-off going in favor of the Huskies early on. Possession will remain with Washington. Breaking away at the corner of the field. Back in midfield now. Huskies will hold on. This is Russell with possession. Looking to see someone get open. Getting checked a bit by OSU. Nice check. Attempts to swipe for the shaft. He'll fire back to the corner. And good deflection by Walls. Dawson Walls is definitely going to have to step it up for the remainder of this game. Already giving up 5 goals in the first quarter alone.
Great sign there. That was a great save. And now we'll see the Beavers' little sketchy pass there, but able to take it. And let's see if they can hold possession.
Flipping the field. OSU in possession now. Out back to Bodie Callison. Callison trying to get something going here, flipping it back out to his man. Pedro with possession now. Back to Callison. Corner of the field, moving into the X. One-on-one. Will go for the shot, and it bounces over the goal and out into the X, and will roll out of bounds.
Like that aggressiveness from Callison. Like to see him take that shot there instead of pass it off, because it seemed like he had a little open lane, but I like this aggressiveness going to the goal and just not able to get there.
Braden Terrio loses the ball, and the Huskies will retain as Callison trotting over into Husky territory. Callison one-on-one with his man. Breaks free, loses possession, and recovered by the Huskies in the X. As whistles will fly, we're trying to see what this penalty is for.
Believe it's going to be on the Huskies for a slashing on Callison on that run. Let's see if the Beavers can take advantage of this man up here and see if they can score early in this quarter.
That did look like it was rough. And they will send the Husky to the penalty box for a minute for slashing. As possession will remain in OSU's favor. It's Braden Terrio who will be sitting out for the remaining minute of play in the penalty box. OSU trying to get something going here as they fire and loop around.
Great shot there by number 0. That was a great play, being man up, getting that shot there.
Strong goal there by OSU as they're able to loop around the Husky defender.
Cam Lee was the goal scorer there. Great strong goal, top left corner of the goal. Love to see it. Love to see that momentum for the Beavers.
His second goal of the day. Cam Lee has been a very nice bright spot for OSU so far to start this matchup. As we head off to the face-off. Possession will go to OSU. Nice scoop up by the Beavers there. Hanging on to it is Chandler. Travis Chandler with possession, being checked by Washington. Throw it back out to Cam Lee, taken away by the Huskies. Nice swipe by Lee, who retains possession, one-on-one. Trying to break free, goes for another shot, pump fakes. Barely outside. Tipped off the corner of the Husky goalie and will retain possession.
Such an aggressive run there from Cam Lee. Love to see that. Love to see that confidence build for him. Just missed that goal, but he needs to keep taking those shots. Those are accurate.
Huskies trying to catch up late here in a quarter that has now been dominated by OSU. 2-0 run here in this second matchup. A little under 12 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Huskies with possession. Good defense here by the Beavers on their side of the field.
Let's see if the Beavers can keep that momentum going in this quarter, get a strong defensive stop here, and maybe force a turnover or just get a missed shot.
Huskies with possession in the X. Trying to find something. Hardinson being double teamed by Beavers, finds By. Connor By, one-on-one with OSU. Back out to his man. Possession will stay with the Washington Huskies. Behind the crease, can't overstep that. It'll be a penalty. Fires and out of bounds. Attempted to go over the head of Walls, but it won't go.
Good stop there for the Beavers. Like to see that communication there, staying on their man and able to retain possession, and let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
Walls will go out to Peipinger. Out to Callison. Let's see what they can get here. Callison into the X. Flipping the field now, waiting for his Beavers to catch up. One-on-one here with the Husky. Possession still favoring Washington. OSU now gets the ball back. Trying to find something. Out to Vanderbrake. Good defense early on from the Washington Huskies here. Vanderbrake pump fakes, trying to spin off. Will fire, and good block by Martin. Attempted to be recovered by OSU. Loose ball on the ground. Who will come up from the fight? Ball still loose.
Chaotic play there, but seems like the Huskies are going to hold it.
As whistles fly, we await the call. With 9:47 left here to go in the second quarter. As we see sub-ins here. As we have an injured player on the field. As we will take a quick injury timeout as we await the Husky to be taken off the field right after this quick break. Breaking back from this injury timeout, Henry Littell of the Huskies, down with a leg injury, will be subbed out now. Brutal lower shot that stopped possession and play with 9:47 left to go here in the second quarter. Ball will be in favor of OSU now.
Like I said in the pregame, seeing a lot of physicality and aggressiveness. We could see that there, and a lot of physicality on that play, fighting for the ball on the ground, and unfortunate that he had to go out with that injury. But Beavers Huskies play on.
Huskies now retain possession, switching over, good takeaway. Huskies trying to find something here. This is Peter. Out to Will Russell in the X. Back out to By. Trying to get something going here. Nick Glannon holding on possession, back out to Russell. Getting checked. OSU, good defense here. Attempts to swing for it and will lose possession. Recovered by OSU. Trying to flip the field here. Nice pass, drops it but retains it anyways. That was a very nice lob pass over. Cam Lee attempting for his third shot and finds it. Nice assist there from Cam Lee. Gets his man and is able to hit home. Good attempt there.
Great transition, defense to offense there for the Beavers. Almost looking like the Huskies there. Seeing that stop on the defensive play. Great passes across and able to put that in the back of the net. Guy wide open. Transition is where the goals will happen. So exactly what the Beavers want to have, and it's a 3-5 game now.
Alex Kamalion with the goal from the assist from Cam Lee. And Oregon State is now slowly chipping away this at one point insurmountable lead that they now made a 2-point game as the faceoff is set to break. Loose ball recovered by Washington. Possession still in the Huskies' favor. Will Peter, as whistles fly. as we will call a quick timeout here for both teams. I believe it will be on Washington. A good change of event there for OSU to get this break, catch their breath. It was a strong performance so far in a quarter that's now completely flipped the script. Quarter number 1, 5-1 run with a 5-0 run for Washington. And now here in quarter 2, OSU 3-0 run, able to chip away at the lead.
I think that goal in the end of the quarter for the Beavers really kind of changed the momentum, gave them a little hope, and, you know, let them kind of feel like they're still in this game. It's super early, and as we see here, they've really settled down with those turnovers, really settled down just in the game overall, and we're seeing it here with 2 really good goals in this quarter and some confidence being built, for sure.
Star of the game so far has been Mr. Cam Lee. 2 goals and 1 assist for a goal. As play will now break. Oregon State switching to their territory now. Washington has to get something going here. They have been scoreless in the second quarter. OSU has completely dominated this half.
Seems like we're seeing a little switch in defensive mentality for the Beavers, really communicating well, making sure they're on their man, and kind of
Loose ball in the air.
Grouping up when there's a player open.
They are doing a great job of grouping up defensively. I think they're trying to play more tighter coverage, not allowing Huskies to get so wide open. Walls will throw back into OSU territory. Trying to find something here. This is Colby Noah with possession. Tipped in the air, recovered by Walls. Goal is wide open as Walls will send it deep into Washington territory.
I think they're going to call Walls stepping over that red line there, and
Ooh.
don't think he's allowed to do that. So Washington's going to keep possession here.
Be an overstep penalty. As you could see, the Oregon State sideline very upset with that. Head coach John Boyer barking orders for Walls to back up into the crease. Possession still favoring the Huskies now. High pass over into the X. Washington with possession. Trying to find something here. Nice spin move. Back into the X. One-on-one in coverage. Washington getting checked here. Connor by with possession. Throws back out. Will attempt the shot as the ball will roll out of bounds. Attempted to go low under Walls, but it will fly past the goal and be rolling out of bounds.
Nice defensive stretch there for the Beavers, staying on their man. Staying really, really aggressive here on defense. Not afraid to check, not afraid to try to hit those sticks, loosen the balls, and maybe kind of force some turnovers.
Possession switches to Washington. Now back to OSU. Oregon State will retain. Attempting to flip the field here. Solid pass, but not into the man. Nice check by Washington. OSU is able to recover the pass that initially was not caught in the cup, but is recovered anyways. This is Hops. Back out to Vanderbrake.
Seems like the Beavers are trying to set up a particular play here and get the right men on the field and see if they can get a really quality shot here.
Vanderbrake at the corner, back into the middle, attempting to shoot into a crowd of people, and it gets scooped up by Washington, taken away. Flipping the field here, gets Subbins coming in. OSU trying to lock up. Cam Lee gets shook by Bai. Bai with possession for the Huskies. Back out to his man. Deep in the X. Hits to the corner.
Seem like we're really seeing both teams kind of settle down here. Slow play a little bit, try to get some quality shots here, and kind of letting the defense set up maybe a little bit, and that kind of gives both teams the advantage. We'll see if the Huskies here can get a quality shot.
You can definitely see them trying to set up these shots as McCormick will lose the ball. Possession still with the Huskies. McCormick looking for an open man. One-on-one, tries to shake him off. swapping defenders here, getting checked in his shaft. Possession with the Huskies still. Dylan Agmon loses, and ball will flip.
Great possession there on defense for the Beavers, forcing an errant pass, letting the offense maybe get going here.
Walls will go out to an OSU defender, looking to send it out to a midfielder, and he does this. Cam Lee, who so far has been outstanding this game with his 2 goals and 1 assist. Lee back out to Vanderbrake. Vanderbrake one-on-one. Loose coverage here by OSU. Or excuse me, Washington checking his shaft. Out back to Vanderbrake, loses the ball. He's able to recover and remain in in Washington territory. Vanderbrake with possession, trying to find an open man. Washington is corralling the goal. They are not letting anyone try to get an open run for the crease, as Washington will attempt it and get taken away. Ethan Martin with the nice deflection, and will send it back out to his man as we flip the field.
Beavers trying to get a shot there, trying to have another player besides Cam Lee make a play, and unfortunate there that it was a pretty easy stop for the Huskies, and they're going to switch possession.
Possession now with the Huskies. Tight coverage by Beavers. Breaking for the crease. Behind the goal, whistles are blown.
Nice play there for the Beavers defense. Poking that stick, losing the ball, and seems like the Huskies stepped into the crease, so going to go back to the Beavers.
Losing possession now back to OSU. Flipping the field. One-on-one with his man. See if he can find someone open. OSU possession. Now out to Bode Callison. Attempts to shoot and will no good. Out past the goal and rolls out of bounds.
Really like that shot there. Unfortunate, just missed that side pole, but Beavers keep possession, keep shooting. Eventually, they're going to go in.
Bode Callison, I like the aggression, trying to take a shot over the middle. Possession was with Kamalion for a sec, who already has the 1 goal. Flipping the field back into OSU territory. Washington recovers, takes a dive, loses the ball. As we hear whistles, fingers point, and the penalty will go on Washington.
Believe Washington will keep possession. See if they can set up a nice little play here and try to get a goal this quarter. They haven't scored this quarter, so kind of lacking on that offensive side. Let's see if they can switch the momentum back to them and have a good quality shot here.
Zach Anderson with possession. Fires, going absolutely nowhere, and that will roll out of bounds. Nearest man in the X is a Husky, so possession will remain with them. Washington in the X, trying to get out and find a man. Looking for an open player, and he does. Back out to Peter. One-on-one. Nice check by OSU, trying to loosen this ball in the X. Circling the crease, nice! Huge hit by OSU, massive check.
That was a strong hit by Callison there. Really aggressive there. I think Huskies will get the flag on that play, but really aggressive defense there from Callison.
It's a very nice hit by Bode Callison to get the check and lose the ball. But it'll be for naught, as Washington is able to finally break this scoring drought and find their man. Awesome, but yet long drawn out offensive drive for Washington is able to finally break by OSU. Good defense there by the Beavers on that play.
It was great possession there by both teams, and Huskies able to take advantage of that flag thrown, a little pause there because of that big hit, and kind of able to take advantage of the little bit of chaos and able to put a ball in the back of the net to make it 6-3.
Connor Bai, who has by far led the team in possession time, is able to get his first point of the day. As we now have a 3-point game, 6-3, favoring the Huskies over the Beavers, as they will send their men back out for the face-off to break this one with 1.5 unding.
Seems like the Beavers will be man down as Callison stands in the penalty box. See if the Huskies can take advantage of that right after that goal. See if they can get back-to-back goals, being man up, and kind of switching that momentum back to them.
Looks like he was sent there for checking, or excuse me, slashing on that last possession. And one last-ditch attempt to save a goal as possession is lost. Washington trying, trips, and the ball is loose, but Washington's able to recover.
Great fight there for the ball by both teams. Washington able just to get that ball rolls their way and ends up in their stick.
Back out to McCormick. Washington has a lot of momentum now on their side with the one goal and now being able to keep it back in OSU territory. Bai, who just scored that goal, trying to find someone, gets back out. We'll have it back to him. Attempts to go with the ground pound to send the ball bounce into the back of the goal, but will not go. Nice stop by Dawson Walls to prevent what could have been an awful turn of events if that ball took just a slightly higher bounce to go over.
Nice defensive possession here for the Beavers. A little bit of ball on the ground here, but good possession there, able to get the stop, able to get that stop, being a man down, and seeing if they can kind of switch that field position now.
Tavis Chandler with possession of the live ball. Washington's able to retain after getting it away from his OSU defender. Just trying to find Blake Hardison here. Hardison back out to Bai. To McCormick, deflected by Walls. Another great defensive stop in the crease by Walls. And he'll send it flying to flip field as time will officially expire in the second quarter. Nice last shot attempt by Walls to see if he can find a man with a few seconds left. But Oregon State will now head into this halftime with their heads hung low, 3-6 favoring the Washington Huskies.
Yeah, I think in that last couple minutes of that quarter really favored the Huskies there, able to take advantage of being man up, getting that goal right before that. But a great quarter for the Beavers there, having 3 goals, able to, you know, kind of change that momentum from that first quarter and kind of, let's see, it's halftime. Let's see if they can regroup, kind of fix up those sloppy turnovers, fix up those maybe chaotic plays, and kind of go into the second half ready.
There's still a lot of lacrosse to be played. There's still a whole quarter to go. You still have at least a break between the third and the fourth. And even though they did let them get out to an early start, that easily is the backbreaker, having a 5-0 lead so early on in this matchup, but also the turnover problem for just in the first few 10 minutes of the first quarter alone. That was not an ideal situation for OSU to be in. And now Oregon State will look to hopefully take this momentum that they at least got. They were able to take a 3-0 hole in the second quarter, go up 3-1 when it came to scoring, but with that one score that Washington was able to hit, because of how well they were in the first quarter, it puts them up in a more higher placement to be 6-3 as Washington will lead with the lead into halftime. OSU attempting to get something going here as the Washington Huskies will hold the lead 6-3 over the Oregon State Beavers. We will take a quick halftime break after this and get action back to you here on KBVR TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back to KBVR TV. We have a very intenseful matchup so far in this former Pac-12 matchup between the Oregon State Beavers and the Washington Huskies. The visiting team so far has taken a significant jump over the home team. Although Washington was able to get out to a 5-0 stretch in the first quarter, OSU was able to knock one in and then was able to take a 3-0 hole in the second quarter before Washington found one more right before the break. Now back from half in the third quarter, we have more lacrosse underway as possession will start with OSU in Washington territory. Oregon State trying to get off to an aggressive lead here. Possession with OSU. They want to find something early here in order to send a statement that they're not out just yet.
Really liked what I saw from the Beavers in that second quarter on both sides of the field. Not turning that ball over as much, trying to, you know, keep good shots, aggressive shots, and yeah, let's see what we got in store for that second half.
We'll have Subbins come in now as possession will flip the field. Will Peter with possession for Washington. Back out to his man. Loses the ball for a sec, gets scooped up by OSU. Nice turnover. Oregon State out to Walls, and he will send it out to his man. Delayed send there, but is able to get it off to an Oregon State Beaver nonetheless. Possession with the Beavs.
Nice quick turnover there for the Beavers on that defensive play. Able to switch sides of the field pretty quickly and try to get some of these shots off pretty quickly in the start of this half.
This is Ben Hoops with possession. We've seen a lot of Ben Hoops today, although he's not in the starting lineup. We've noticed that he's been subbing in a lot, and I like that OSU is trying to find their right formula, their right starting 11 to see if they can get anything happen, as we do have a familiar face here in Hank Vanderbrake, one of the main staples of this team who's had a lot of play time with possession.
Seems like he likes to be a kind of point playmaker here. See if he can maybe get a goal in the back of the net or maybe a couple assists here. He leads the team in assists with 11 total assists, so let's see if he can stay aggressive here.
Cam Lee loses the ball after getting checked. He's able to get up, though, under his own power. That's a good sign. You can't lose a player like that. Subbins coming in now after a few sticks are loose on the field, as whistles will fly for adjustments to be made here. Nice check there by Washington to make one of their leading scorers on the opposing team in Bodie to leave the game early. Having Subbins come in.
Beavers holding possession here, trying to get a set play. Seems like shot clock violation there, so gonna go back to Washington. Tough break there for the Beavers.
And you can hear the Huskies sideline not okay with that decision at all, but spent too much time trying to find their right starting 11 to come in. Possession with the Huskies. Nice spin move, shakes Cam Lee into OSU territory now. That was a filthy move by the Huskies. Possession still. Throttling the midfield line. Getting corralled by Oregon State very well as he will step out of bounds and switch possession. Nice defensive play there in order to force him out of bounds.
We're already seeing early the defensive intensity here for the Beavers as that pass goes errant out of bounds, but like seeing this intensity for the Beavers early on, and this is a lot different than the start of the first quarter where a lot of sloppy turnovers, and we're not seeing that here, so like to see that momentum change and see what they can do here.
They have definitely cleaned it up a lot more in this quarter, as that is Leo Mendelson, who was able to retain possession and throw it back into play for OSU.
See if Washington here can get kind of a set play. Haven't really had a good play for this start of the half as Beavers take it away. So another great possession there defensively for the Beavers. Exactly how they want to come out here and start.
Getting checked and loses his stick with the ball still in the cup as he'll fly out of bounds. Possession with the Huskies now.
Nice aggressive defense there. Just poking that stick, and that stick fell out of his hands. So
slapped the shaft and was able to get it free. Awesome possession for the Huskies.
Nice little run there from behind. Able to disrupt that shot, and Wells made that stop, but it's going to stay with the Huskies.
Huskies with possession. Out to his corner man. This is Glannon. Glannon steps up to it, attempted to go for Connor by. A little too high for him, though, and sends it out of bounds. And into the audience's stands. Nearest man was a Husky, so possession will go over to Oregon State.
Looks like John Boyer's unhappy about something. Not sure what that is, but Beavers are going to retain possession here and see if they can get another good offensive possession.
They flipped the field into Washington territory. Trying to go for something. I understand that they're now in a hole, already down 3 points with a little under near 10.5 minutes to tick in this third quarter, but there's still plenty of time left. You have a whole quarter to go after this one. You still got 10.5 to go in this third quarter of play, so it's not completely over yet for Oregon State as they're trying to get something now. A lot of purple jerseys around the crease. One-on-one with Cam Lee. He attempts deflection. My goodness. Ethan Martin said, forget the stick, I'm using my body, and deflects the ball with his shoulder. That's got to hurt.
Great play there, putting your body on the line. Love to see that. And as we've seen throughout this whole game, this game is a game of runs. A lot of momentum changes, a lot of momentum shifts. So, you know, Beavers are definitely not out of it here, and see if they can clean up in spots. And seems like Washington player stepped out of bounds, and Beavers are going to take possession here.
Possession switches over to Bodie Callison. Callison trying to find something. He cradles and slides it over to his man. There was an attempt to go for the shot, but I don't think Callison saw an open window.
Like to see this set play from the Beavers, trying to get something going. Nice block there for the Huskies goalie.
That was a very nice defensive stop. Ethan Martin has had a high day, but also he's had a lot of low days as well, and this day has been a mixture of both. He's been able to let 3 in, but he's also been able to stop a few shots, and there was another one as Washington flips field of play, almost taken away. Huskies still hold on to possession. This is Nick Glannon back out to Connor By. Glannon will receive again. Trying to find something.
Seems like we're seeing communication between both teams, trying to set up both possessions. So see if Oregon State can communicate effectively, cover their man right, and let's see if the Huskies can kind of make a play, get somebody open, and have an accurate shot on goal.
Will Russell with it for a sec in the X is able to get it out. Huskies making a drive for the crease. Shoots it back out. He'll go for the goal and right into the cup of Dawson Walls. That's a good stop.
Walls has been done really well this second half and that second quarter. He's really kind of, that first quarter was a little bit rough, maybe a little jitters early on, but
early game jitters.
But he's really stepped up and he's made some really good stops recently.
With possession now with OSU in Washington territory, about middle of the field. Back out to Vanderbrake. Vanderbrake loses possession, and it'll be recovered by the Huskies.
Great defensive play there for the Huskies, exactly what they needed here. Having a little tough start to the quarter. A little chaos right now in the middle of the field, but like to see this aggressiveness from both teams.
Good check there by Washington, knocking a stick loose. Oregon State makes a sub in here for the loose man, looking to send Bodie Callison back in. Flag will fly as play will continue and whistles blow. And it'll go as a hold on Washington.
This can really see if we can give Oregon State some momentum here. Man up. Let's see if they can kind of open up this scoring in this half and, you know, take advantage of open men. And yeah.
They send one of the starters for the Huskies to the penalty box to wait it out. He's been a key player with how active he's been with a ton of time of possession, as Brooks Dennett will remain for his minute and a half in the box. In the back of the X, OSU with possession. Back to Cam Lee. Lee out to Callison. Callison right into the cup. Attempted to go straight through Ethan Martin as he avoids the crease and sends it back out, and it's taken away.
Good stop there by Martin. Great shot from Bodie Callison, just unable to convert, but I like to see that possession. Big hit there from Callison.
Another flag will fly. Whistles blow, and we'll see what this penalty's on. Back-to-back flags in a very limited amount of time. As we will wait to see what this was for. The refs will congregate at the middle of the field.
Seems like Callison is going to be called for that penalty, so I believe it's going to be back to normal amount of players on the field as both teams had that penalty called.
Bodie Callison waiting around in the penalty box, and he will take a knee, so he will be out. And it looks like it will be and it was an illegal blind check to the head. And therefore, Callison will take an extended period of time in the penalty box.
I really like seeing this aggressiveness, physicality from Callison. Unfortunate that he's going to cause 2 penalties so far, but I really like this aggressiveness, and you're down 3-6. Kind of what you need.
Happen.
Exactly. You kind of got to get your team fired up, got to make something happen, and maybe not cause a penalty, but I like putting that fire in his team, and, you know, let's see how it turns out here.
Send the message, even if it does have to involve one of your leading scorers sitting out for an extended period of time. Huskies with possession now. McCormick. Back to McCormick now. Will roll into the X. Send it back out to his man. Huskies still with possession. Washington trying to find something. Huskies playing loose zone as he'll swing and it'll go under walls, through the legs and into the goal. That was a nice underhand shot by the Washington Huskies to find an open lane as Connor By lands his 2nd goal of the game.
Great shot there, using the ground to help him there, and it just rolled past Wells, and unfortunate there that penalty is going to turn into a goal for Washington.
7-3 ball game with 6:06 left here to go in the 3rd. Oregon State is now in a hole that is much harder to climb out of than expected. It was more manageable when it was a 5-2 game, and then it was even a 6-3 game, only a 3-point lead, but now with a 4-point lead with a little almost under 5 minutes to go, you got to start making something happen now. Huge connections here at the middle of the field following the face-off. Washington's able to scoop up the loose ball and switch the field into OSU territory.
This game might change into a game of possessions. Oregon State needs to make sure when they have that ball that they have quality offensive possessions. They need to get quality shots. Being down 4 points, it's hard to score when you're playing defense. So let's see what they can do here. Let's see if Wells can get a good stop and kind of switch fields.
Possession now incredibly close to the crease. Walls is on his edge. Possession still with the Huskies. Attempts to shoot. Near the goal. Don't know if he stepped in the crease there, but they'll continue to let play go. And it will be recovered by Oregon State. Nice scoop up by the Beavers. That could have been disastrous. That was a nice low scoop.
Little chaotic there in front of the goal. Could have gone either way, and fortunate for the Beavers that they able to scoop that up. And like I said before, possessions are going to be key. So let's see what the Beavers can do on this offensive side and see if they can, cut into this lead.
Brock Pippinger with a little bit of hero ball there, one of the team's captains, able to scoop up the ball before entering the crease. Possession now to the Beavers, deep in Washington territory. Cam Lee cradling, trying to find something.
Seems like Cam Lee's really been the playmaker here today. Let's see if he can get maybe some of his other teammates involved. Maybe I see Bodie Callison running onto the field. Let's see if he can get some of his other teammates involved and make some plays around them.
Loses the stick here as we'll hear whistles. I don't know what this one is for, as we see a few Huskies swap in and out, including face-off Will Peter will be retaking the field for this defensive drive. Oregon State did have one of their players in Cam Lee drop the possession, as this will be a penalty box foul on one of the Huskies. A little excessive aggression there. I think it was a slash penalty. So he will be sent to the box for that.
Really like the activity I'm seeing from both teams this quarter. I like Beavers' defensive mentality so far. Aggressiveness, physicality, not letting the Huskies get open in front of their crease, but I think now it turns into an offensive game. They've got to cut into this lead. They're down 4 here. Every shot, every goal counts. So we're really, really hoping that they can get a quality shot here.
Hank Vanderbrake loses possession. Bodie Callison up in the face of Ethan Martin, trying to get it away, and he does.
Great save there from Ethan Martin. Quality save.
Loses possession for a moment, was able to retain in mid-air. Connor By slips, able to switch the field. Just completely untouched. Trying to shake Callison, and will throw it back out to open field. Washington just trying to get something going here, as By will send it back out.
Seems like the Huskies are not afraid to take their time, have this lead, not afraid to kind of set up their offense, get a quality set going, and, you know, kind of get accurate quality shots because they're up.
And you don't want to force anything either. Any small turnover or mistake here could definitely affect this team mentally and also affect the scoreboard, as the Huskies will retain possession. A little outside of the X, flipping it back to Connor By. Open field, McCormick. Trying to get something going here. Washington with possession will slap, and Dawson Walls with the nice recovery. Good defense there by Dawson Walls. That could have been awful.
Good stop there for Walls. Able to rotate the field here. Let's see if the Beavers can take advantage of that. He's played really well after that first quarter, so let's see if the Beavers here can be aggressive.
That was an attempt shot made by Nathaniel Meyer for the Huskies. Possession now back to Meyer. He'll head into the X. Toss back to Ethan Martin. Martin leaves the crease. Checking to see who's open. He'll do a short dump off to the nearest Husky. Heading toward the sideline, and a beautiful spin move. Wow, that was a very nice move as the Washington Huskies switch the field deep in OSU territory. That was Ty Peterson. That was a nice move. That was gorgeous. Possession still with the Huskies. Peterson with the awesome move gets momentum back on Oregon State's side. Possession still with the Huskies at midfield of OSU territory. Makes a break for the crease. Looking for a shot off, won't get it. Connor By gets checked. Tries to find his man at the corner of the crease. Deflection by Dawson Walls. That was a nice deflection there by Walls.
Nice defensive possession here for the Beavers. Being aggressive. Getting their body on their man and trying to force a turnover, get a stop. It's going to be another goal for the Huskies.
Man,
nice shot there.
That was a very nice shot for the Huskies. We already saw they were able to flip the field and keep possession close to OSU's goal, and here it's able to pay off as Oregon State now further goes down.
Tough break there for the Beavers. Unfortunate that, you know, letting that ball go through the net, not able to get quality shots here at the end of this third quarter. Let's see if, like I said before though, this is a game of runs. Things can happen quickly. Let's see if the Beavers can regroup after the end of this quarter and kind of, you know, focus in on possessions matter and handling the ball matters. So
and that was Richie with the goal for the Huskies. Oregon State with possession, getting double teamed here. Checked big time by Will Peter, but he's able to get the ball out. Oregon State flips the field. Gets tangled up for a sec with a Husky, but it's able to break near the crease. Trips over a man, stays on his feet. OSU pushing near. A lot of purple jerseys around the goal. They're not being able to get anything going near the crease. Cam Lee now at midfield. Back out to Vanderbrake.
I think the Beavers know how important this possession is. Getting the right men on the field. Only about less than 30 seconds left in this quarter, so seeing if they can maybe get a goal here like they did at the end of that first quarter.
Bodie Callison with possession. Oregon State holding onto the ball now. Callison gets wrapped up, will attempt to shoot, but it'll be way out of bounds. Nice attempt by Callison on the falling attempt to get inside the goal.
Really athletic, aggressive drive there. Unfortunate that he wasn't able to put it in the back of the net, but I like that aggressiveness.
And that'll do it. That'll wrap the third quarter of this matchup. Oregon State down 3-8 to the Washington Huskies. This is a huge hole that is becoming deeper and deeper as this game continues to progress. We have 1 quarter of play left as Oregon State trailing the visiting Washington Huskies. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. This is becoming a fun one. One more quarter of action to go here at Student Legacy Park as the Oregon State Beavers are trailing the Washington Huskies 3-8. Welcome back to KBVR TV. I'm your play-by-play man, Nik Munoz, joined here by my color commentator, Brady Elliott. And I don't know, Brady, this has been a rough one to watch if you're an OSU fan.
This has been tough. I mean, both teams coming out here aggressive, athletic, physical. Tough that some of these shots for the Beavers are not going into the back of the net, but I think this fourth quarter, you gotta get shots. It's all about shots. You're down 5 points here, so I think it's key that Beavers hold possession and get the quality shots that I know they can have. So it's going to be an interesting fourth quarter here.
Caden Allen off the faceoff is able to run wild and open back into the back of the X behind the crease of the Huskies. Possession with OSU completely going untouched. No one around him. Just Travis Chandler with possession now for OSU. Flipping back out to Cam Lee from Vanderbrake. Lee back out to Chandler. Excuse me, no, that's Callison.
I think this possession is really key for the Beavers here. Starting off this quarter strong, not able to score in that third quarter, and you know this possession here is going to be pretty big and reflect this entire quarter to the end.
Bodie Callison shooting out to the X. Has a man. Oregon State will retain. Back out to Vanderbrake, who I think leads the team in possession time. Vanderbrake is able to hit one off the ground and ding it in. Nice shot attempt by Oregon State.
Exactly what they needed to start off this quarter. Really good possession there. Taking their time, passing it around, finding an open man, and Vanderbrake there, able to be aggressive, not pass it off, but put it in the back of the net. Nice play there.
Hank Vanderbrake, who may lead the team in time of play and time of possession. He's been on the field all day long. Is able to start to show it on the stat sheet with his first goal of the game. And this becomes a 4-point matchup. Still in favor of the Huskies, but it's still not over. There's near 13 and a half minutes to go. It's doable.
Definitely, I think this game just shows that it's, as I've preached throughout this whole broadcast, it is a game of runs. Momentum changes quickly, and I think for the Beavers, if they can get a stop here, not allow transition offense, they can be in this game. It's definitely not over. A lot of ball game left.
Disastrous play averted by Dawson Walls. That was a fast break by the Washington offense. That could have been awful, but their star goalie is able to make a clutch play late. Possession will switch to Oregon State. As their sub-ins, it's Colby Noah breaking free into Washington territory, flips out to his man. OSU at midfield. Bodie Callison with possession.
This is exactly how the Beavers wanted to start this quarter. Able to get a goal and then another great save by Wells. And this is how the momentum changes, guys. This is how momentum changes. And so I think if Beavers can get another quality possession here, the game is definitely in grasp.
Cam Lee. Back out to Stilmack, and he gets it. Now that is how you switch momentum. Oregon State, in mere moments apart from each other, silences the Washington Huskies sideline. Back-to-back goals in under 3 minutes to go. Oregon State is on the board.
This will get the guys fuming. This will get the guys going. There's only around 12 minutes left, and they've cut this lead to 3, and this is how momentum changes, exactly, Nick. And I love what I'm seeing from both sides of this Beaver offense and defense. And as we can hear the Beaver bench loud and yelling, and this is what we like to see.
Gage Miller with the strike there. Excuse me, Alex Kamalian with the strike, his second goal of the day for the Beavers. As possession will retain to Washington after the faceoff. Huskies with possession. You can definitely feel the pressure starting to build now after quick back-to-back plays for the Oregon State Beavers resulting in goals. Playing tight coverage here, attempted to go for the shot, deflected off of Walls back in the field of play. directing traffic, line drive, one-on-one, out and in. You gotta be kidding me. What a series of events for the Oregon State Beavers. And now this game is well in hand. The assist from Kamalion to Dallas Shaban. That's another goal on the board.
What a sequence there for the Beavers. This start of this quarter has been exactly what they have needed to stay in this game. I bet you head coach John Boyer is really happy right now of how they've responded to this adversity and able to, as we see it on the field right now, respond and make a statement. And now they're only down 2. This is well within grasp for the Beavers.
Alex Kamalion and Cam Lee, both 2 goals and 1 assist. They have really been in key factors. Cam Lee in the first half and now Kamalion in this 4th quarter.
Let's see, the Huskies, it's well within grasp for them as well. I think they don't need to panic here. They're still up 2 goals. I think it's key for them to try to not force turnovers or try to not turn over that ball and, you know, not be sloppy and be clean.
Possession out to Washington after a nasty breakup. Huskies retain possession, one-on-one with his man. This is Schwitzer in coverage. Trying to get outside of the box. Heading into the back of the X. Getting checked a ton here. He can't get anyone open. He's double-teamed. Out to Connor By. Huskies have to get something going. Back to By.
Seems a lot different than this first half for the Huskies on the offense. They maybe a little stagnant, maybe a few players standing around, not getting space, not finding open men. A little hard, but they're still in this game. They're up 8-6, so I think, you know, they don't need to panic here. I think they are going to call a timeout right now. So
they need to get some form of momentum back on their side. You give up 3 goals in under 5 minutes. That is an impressive feat for Oregon State's offense. Not so much for their defense, of course, when you're talking about the Huskies. That is not what you want to see, considering that you now just completely switch the momentum. OSU is alive and well. Great defense we saw around the crease and the goal. And now the Huskies, with this timeout, is very much attempting to stop the clock and prevent any more time from running off. Like you said, they own the possession still, but they're up by only 2. So if you're the Huskies, it's primarily going to have to be now just playing keep-away ball, trying your best to make sure that OSU doesn't run off any more crazy shots like that. And if you keep allowing them to flip the field as fast as you have been letting them, it's never going to go your way.
Definitely, definitely. I think the key for the Huskies here is to stay within themselves, not panic, not let that little great sequence there for the Beavers get to them. And they've played a great game. They've played a really great game, and I think they shouldn't let these last 3 minutes or so get to them. They need to try to keep forcing turnovers for the Beavers, keep making the right play. And on the Beavers side, I think they gotta keep this energy up. They've had a really great sequence, and I think having that energy is going to be really important to fighting back and cutting this lead that was previously 5 back to tied.
The momentum is high for Oregon State now. They have all of it in their favor. Possession with the Huskies. By. It'll retain for Oregon State. Around the crease, circling the goal here for the Huskies. I have to imagine that eventually they're going to try to break something off.
Not seeing many players for the Huskies in that crease in front of the goal. A lot of players outside trying to just run around. Low in the shot clock. Let's see what they do here.
Blake Hardison with possession. Drops it for a sec, and we'll have to switch.
Great defensive possession here for the Beavers. Keeping this momentum high, and
let's see what they can do here. This is definitely going to be an interesting turn of events. Back out, almost taken away by the Huskies, but tips off the top of his cup and is able to stay with the Oregon State Beavers. OSU with possession. Tavish Chandler cradles, throws out to Callison. Let's see if their young star can make a play here. Bodie Callison out to Hank Vanderbrake.
He seems to be a little quiet here this game. Let's see if he can ride that momentum that his teammates have given him and see if he can make a play.
Vanderbrake attempts to shoot for the outside of the goal and misses as it'll roll out of bounds. Nearest player is Bodie Callison. Trying to find an open guy. Callison out to Cam Lee. 2 goals and assists for Mr. Lee today. Trying to shake his defender. Can't get him off him. He'll attempt to shoot over the goal, but it'll roll out of bounds. That was a high drive, attempting to go over the top of Ethan Martin, but no good.
2 strong shots here for the Beavers. Like this aggressiveness. Got to keep it rolling here.
Under 10 minutes in counting in this final 4th quarter of play as Oregon State hits it home. Another series of events that go in favor of the Beavers. Hank Vanderbrake, his 2nd goal of the day.
This has been a crazy 5 minutes here in the start of this 4th quarter. Momentum completely shifting. Beavers only down 1 here. Love to see this Beavers bench screaming, yelling, firing each other up. It's been awesome.
In 5 minutes and 6 seconds, the Oregon State Beavers have rattled off almost a full 6 points, and they are almost climbing way back into this one. 1-point game, 8-7, the closest it's been since the first minute of this matchup when it was still a 1-0 ball game.
The Huskies gotta not panic here. Like I said before, still in the lead, still kind of holding this possession here. They can't let the momentum get to them, and they got to end this game strong if they want to win this.
Washington feeling the pressure mounting here. They'll retain possession. This is Zach Anderson, one of the players coming off the subs. Cradling, trying to get an open man. Anderson. Back out to Card, to Connor in the X. Back into the field of play. Keep away, it seems like, for the Huskies' mentality against the Beavers' defense. Checked by 2 men. Goes over to Card, loses possession, is able to scoop it. Almost taken away by the Beaver defender. Colby Noah with a takeaway that could have absolutely swung this one in favor of OSU. Back of the X. Top, goes for it, and it'll roll out of bounds. Shot clock was expiring, so they had to go for something. Risky throw. And we'll get an unnecessary roughness penalty on OSU.
Unfortunate call there for the Beavers. Like to see that aggressiveness, but sometimes you're a little too aggressive, and it's going to pull that unnecessary roughness there.
It was Jacob Schwitzer. We've seen a lot more play time from him in the second half as he will be sent to the penalty box for unnecessary roughness, the first penalty in that category today. It's been a relatively clean game when it comes to that. We have seen a few slashes here and there, only 1 major injury for the Huskies. As Washington with possession.
This is key here for Washington, being a man up, seeing if they can get a goal here.
And another swing and a miss. I'm assuming Washington is just trying to take anything they can until the clock has to switch and they switch possession, rather than be a turnover or the clock expires. But another hard driving swing, attempting to go just throw walls off his game, but it flies out of bounds.
Flies aren't there. I like seeing more shots here for the Huskies. I like them staying aggressive rather than just playing keep away, because I mean they're only up 1 goal. They gotta make sure that they don't stay non-aggressive. So I think, you know, this is a key possession for them.
Anderson with possession, back out to Card. Card to Anderson. Washington with possession. Another game of keep away. Light zone coverage from OSU. They're playing off their man, letting the Huskies breathe, much like they were in the first quarter. But after that, they tightened up after falling to a 5-0 hole. Washington with Connor by. Shot clock expires as it'll roll out of bounds.
Great defensive possession here for the Beavers. Exactly what they needed. Riding this momentum, and great possession there.
As the refs make a few adjustments there. Huskies will remain with possession. Trying to drive toward the crease. Clock ticking down. 10 seconds were added back on after it rolled out of bounds. Up, Going for it and right into the cup. The Huskies were ticking it down on the sideline, and they instantly stopped once Walls was able to silence them with a nice catch and flip field of possession back into the hands of OSU in their offensive attack. Sub-ins come in, Bodie Callison being one of them. Cradles at midfield. Going out to Bo Stillmack. Stillmack in double coverage, it sees two Huskies blanketing him. Callison out to Vanderbrake. Vanderbrake trying to spin loose. Goes over and in. We have a tie ball game.
What a pass by Vanderbrake. That's why he leads the team in assists right there. Great playmaker, able to draw two defenders, whip it across the crease, and guy open there, put it in the net.
Oregon State ties this up. It's 8-8 all, 6.5 minutes to go before we call this one. What a turn of events here in the fourth quarter.
What a thrilling game here, Nick. Great start of the fourth quarter here for the Beavers. Really riding this momentum, putting the Huskies on their heels. I say there's 6 minutes left. There's still a lot of time left. A lot of ball game left.
A complete reversal of the first quarter. 5-0 hole in the first quarter favoring the Huskies. 5-0 hole now favoring OSU in the fourth quarter. A complete role reversal at the end of the game like it was at the beginning. And that was Ben Hops with his first goal of the game. Assist from Hank Vanderbrake.
Both benches know that this has been a really good game, trying to keep their players energetic, strong, active, yelling at them, getting up that energy. They know that these last 5 or so minutes are going to be crucial.
We're under 6 minutes to go here. Washington with possession in their territory. Loses the ball for a moment, able to retain. Slips through a man. Back of the X, Connor by. By to Zach Anderson. Anderson trying to get an open man. One-on-one with Jacob Switzer. Back out of the penalty box after being ruled for unnecessary roughness. OSU trying their best to play tight coverage here. They're going more closer man-on-man. Drops the ball for a sec. Anderson loses, is able to retain. Back out to By. High toss. Washington still in control. Under 5 to go. Loses the ball. And the shot clock expires.
Great defensive possession for the Beavers. The last two possessions, Huskies trying to get the ball down to the end of the shot clock. Beavers playing hard throughout that entire sequence, and now they're on the offensive side. Let's see what they can do here. Keep riding that momentum.
Disruptive series events for the Oregon State Beavers. That was Colby Jones with the loose ball and was able to be recovered by Travis Chandler to flip the field in possession of Bodie Callison.
Bodie Callison knowing that he's got to calm down. Don't let this, energy get to them. Keep riding it, but stay within themselves, and let's see if they can keep it going.
Bodie drives toward the crease, out to Cam Lee. Under 4.5 minutes to go here in the final quarter of play. OSU into the arms of Martin. Ethan Martin keeping his eye on the ball and is able to retain a bouncer.
Good play there from Ethan Martin, able to stop that ball from going in the net. Really big there for the Huskies.
That was Stillmack, who was still trying to get the ball in play. Callison one-on-one in defense here. Huskies flip the field after they're able to retain possession. A little under 4 to go now. Huskies will have to see if they can find a miracle here. Almost taken away. Loses possession, loose ball, whistles fly, and a flag will go up. Let's see what this one's on.
Tough physicality there by both teams. Let's see what that penalty is going to be called on.
As it'll be an illegal push on OSU. However, it did stop play. The ball was dangerously close around the crease.
I think that's going to be another penalty on Bodie Callison for a push. Unfortunate call there, but see if the Beavers, they've played really good defense all throughout this quarter. Let's see if they can really step up being a man down.
Beavers is showing their defensive looks. Washington will start with possession. Refs blow it with 3:15 left to go. Tie ball game, all up at 8. Huskies retain possession here. Beavers drop back into loose defense. Attempting for a corner shot perhaps. No, gets back out to his man. Huskies will go for the shot and no good. Roll out of bounds at the back of the X.
Nice shot there by the Huskies, trying to get a shot on goal. Unfortunate he missed it, but another good shot there, going wide. But like these shots, like this aggressiveness by the Huskies being a man up.
With a little under almost 2.5 to go, the Lacrosse League has got overtime rules on. They've got it locked down. You know, unlike other sports where overtime rules are a little wonky, they don't like ties here. They like to play out until they have a winner, as another ball will fly out of bounds with another long drive attempting for the Huskies in order to get a quick goal here. But we're only a few minutes away from a possible overtime matchup. And remember, just a quick reminder to viewers back at home, you have to have a winner in lacrosse. You cannot have a tie. So as this ball also rolls out of bounds again, switching possession, OSU is maybe possibly trying to keep away here and force overtime. It could be more winnable than trying to find something here in the remaining under 2.5 minutes to go.
I think both teams are definitely trying to score here in this before overtime, but I think OSU would not be mad if this game goes to overtime. So I'm really interested to see what the tactic is by both teams as we see Oregon State call a timeout here to regroup, trying to get a play on with only a minute or so left.
It is an official 2-minute warning, but it is our 2-minute warning. 12 seconds away from the final 2 minutes of play here for Oregon State versus the Washington Huskies. All tied up 8-8. Again, as I said earlier, a complete flip the script. You start the game down a hole, zip to 5. Now you are up 5-0 over Washington.
Great sequence there for the Beavers at the start of this quarter. Being down 3-8, felt like things were in the dirt, things were bad, but they didn't let that get to themselves. They fought through that adversity, knowing that they can do it, and as we saw, that 5 or so minute sequence at the start of this quarter really changed this game around, and now it's a tie ball game. Both teams know they can win this game. Both teams know that possessions matter, and so I think it's going to be key for the Beavers here to get a good shot on goal and kind of not turn that ball over, and it's going to be key for the Huskies here to play really solid defense, and key for this goalie to not let the ball go in the net.
Ethan Martin has a huge task ahead of him for the remaining 2 minutes of this game. Prevent OT is the main goal, you know, or actually no, that would be the premier goal to have that happen. However, his main goal is to prevent this ending in regular matchup time, as possession will remain with Bodie Callison of the Oregon State Beavers. As the refs in moments will blow this ball live. Checking their man, and we have play. Vanderbreak with possession for Oregon State at midfield. Pushing toward the X. Trying to break free. Almost taken away, and it is by Washington. Scoops it up.
Tough pass there by the Beavers in traffic. Unfortunate there. Oh, ref is going to throw a flag here.
And a late flag. That was well after the ball and the holder were out of bounds. Huskies seem to not be okay with this. And it seems like it will be a personal foul.
Seems like it's going to be on Bodie Callison again. Unfortunate that his aggressiveness here has drawn a foul. But
back to the penalty box. intentional push on Bodie Callison. And now we understand the frustrations of the Huskies. They were wanting that call, and they were able to get it a little late, but I like that they're still calling this game fairly. Bodie Callison will now wait out for the remaining minute of this penalty. His first year with the Beavers, he had over 60 fouls, and already he has about 4 today. Possession with the Huskies after a loose ball are able to keep their hands on it. That could have been awful.
Nice effort here from the Beavers on defense, but like to see Huskies holding this possession here. Let's see what they can do.
We are closing in on under a minute to go in regular time of play. Ball with the Huskies. You could imagine if they have an open shot, they should take it. But other than that, they should take their chances in overtime. Behind the goal in the crease, attempts to go for it. Shoots and loses the ball. And it'll be scooped up by Walls. 40 seconds and ticking in regulation. There is still a chance for OSU to put this away before OT.
As clutch as you can be from Walls there, just great stop. Giving the Beavers the ball back. It's going to be key here for the Beavers to be aggressive. Let's see what they do here.
Whistles blow. 28 seconds to go in this matchup. OSU will take their final timeout of regulation. Under 30 seconds. We're tied up 8-8 possession with Oregon State. They are in Washington territory. Ethan Martin has to step up and become the savior of this game.
On the Beaver side, I'm looking at Cam Lee and I'm looking at Bodie Callison to try to stay aggressive, be offensive, not afraid to take shots. You only got 30 seconds left. You got to get shots on goal and see what they can do.
You know, we've seen a lot of the Huskies do this earlier in game where they were trying their best to just sling the ball as hard as they could into the net of OSU. It seemed risky, but at the same time, they were feeling the momentum and pressure. As the huddles will break, Oregon State may have to take a page out of the Huskies' book and do the same thing by trying to take aggressive shots at the back of the goal in order to see if they can get everything.
I think the Beavers would be happy here to get this game into overtime. I think they do want to end it in regulation, but with the way they have fought, they know they can win this game even if it goes into overtime.
28 seconds and counting. Bodie Callison with possession. Switches hands. Gets it out to Vanderbrake. He already has 2 goals on the day. Vanderbrake takes the shot, and he gets it! The miracle at the Student Legacy Parks. Oregon State, with under 15 seconds to go, takes their first lead of the day, 9-8.
Hank Vanderbrake, the man of the moment. Big shot there, right on goal. Beavers are feeling it right now.
13 seconds left after this faceoff is underway. Oregon State up by 1. What a game.
Huskies must be feeling down. Beavers are feeling up. Such a range of emotions here.
The definition of, well, you had me in the first half. As ball possession will switch over to Oregon State. Under 10 and counting. Cam Lee with possession at the corner of the X. He'll send it flying. And it'll be taken away by Oregon State. And this is it. That'll do it. What a comeback. This one will go in the history books. Oregon State, a memento switch in the second half. Down 6-3 at half and able to come all the way back and put this one in 8. 9-8, the final score. Oregon State, what a moment.
What a game. What a fourth quarter here for the Beavers. Such a tough-fought game. Tough for the Huskies. We're going to be right back. This is KBVR.
With all the keys to this game, what a matchup. As you said, this has been KBVR TV. We'll be right back after this to give you game break and send you away. The final live score of this matchup, Oregon State 9, Washington 8. We'll be right back. Your final score, Washington 8, Oregon State 9. What a monumental comeback. At one point, the lead between the two teams was 8-3, trailing in the third quarter. But all of a sudden, Oregon State, a complete momentum switch. 5 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, including 3 of them in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. A monumental rally by OSU all around. What a finish to this awesome matchup.
Yeah, the Huskies really dominated this entire game with possession, with good shots, with forcing turnovers, and that fourth quarter really for the Beavers was the momentum switch, able to score four goals in the span of about 5 minutes, and Hank Vanderbrake in that last 30 seconds able to score his third goal, and really put the Beavers on top.
That was an exciting matchup. We also saw 2 men in Alex Kamalion and Cam Lee both get 2 goals and 1 assist. This was a fun matchup all the way through. Oregon State was able to come back from an early hole midway through against Washington. They took a 5-0 lead at one point in the fourth quarter to then flip it and have Oregon State take a 5-0 lead in the fourth quarter. What a turnaround.
Yeah, amazing play from both sides, defense and offense in that fourth quarter for the Beavers. Really able to not turn over the ball as much, make forced turnovers for the Huskies, and as we see, they rode that wave and able to score at the end and come out on top.
This was an absolute awesome matchup here. This has been a really nice day for some lacrosse, and what a fantastic game to bring it home. A historical comeback for the Oregon State Beavers. Want to shout out my production team here real quick. Producer Brynn Kirkland, punch director Ben Agmon. Of course, our guys on the cams outside, Van Sioutas and Jennie Chinpinyokul, along with Jon Reece, our guys back here in the audio and game effects room with Caleb Matson and Caden Ross, along with our engineers, Elijah and Andy, our advisor and commander-in-chief, Steven Sandberg. This has been my color commentator, Brady Elliott. I've been your play-by-play man, Nik Munoz. Final score one last time, Oregon State 9, Washington 8, a come-from-behind win here in Student Legacy Park. Thank you for choosing KBVR TV as your spot to watch this awesome matchup. See you around.